Welcome back to another episode of Amateur Hour Golf. I'm official now, I got a mic. So, last time we came here, we had all 15 of these balls tested for spin rate by a pitching wedge. Now the real test. I brought the big dog. Interested to see the most average, consistently highest carry. And you know, some of the balls that maybe didn't test well with spin rate with the pitching wedge may test better with distance. So I'm interested to see, going through all of these, what's going to come out. I'm going to hit about 3 to 4 max. I don't know if my body can actually take more than that, but we're going to find out. We're going to hit, again, all 15 brand premier balls from each individual, basically Callaway Titleist. We're hitting every one. So got to get the numbers. We're going to do a, what I really want here is to get the average carry, largest average carry we can possibly get. And then we'll go back to the data and see what ball makes sense for you to play. So other than that, stay tuned. Right, I am finished hitting all 14, 15 balls with this driver, at minimum 3 or 4. I also try to get big ball with each one just to show when I did catch it right in the middle, what it did carry and what it did roll out. There were definitely some balls that did not match up. I wasn't shocked, but when it came to the distance comparatively to the spin rate, there's a large difference comparatively to what I saw last time. The good thing is there's a lot of good data. I was crushing some of these drives, and I literally put some of the balls back up just to retest and catch from center, and they just still weren't going. Some of them went immediately, barely on toe hits. So there's a large difference in ball. From higher brand to mid-tier to lower tier, and we're going to go back and we're going to go break that down. We're going to go from, you know, average drive from a carry to total drive. I don't hit spinny shots, remember that. Take that with a grain of salt, because I do hit a lot of 265, 270 drives that go 305, and you're going to see that in the data. But you're also going to see some carries of about 275 to 280, which is a good thing. I'm also going to rank these, and I'm going to give you the feel on each ball as I go through the data. There were some balls that just felt really bad off the club face, I didn't like, and then some that just felt like butter, but that's about it. Other than that, we're going to go back and then stay tuned. We're going to go through every single ball. I'm sweaty, I'm disgusting, because when you hit driver probably around 90 swings, you're going to get tired. But again, we're going to go through the data, and then we're going to make sense of what ball probably makes sense for you. All right, so other than that, we're going to go back. This is Amateur Hour Golf, going back to his house, and going to go relax a little bit, probably get some Gatorade back in me, and then we'll go through the data. Stay tuned. All right, we are back at the house. We just finished our driving with all the golf balls again, and I'm not going to even try to lie to you. I am so freaking exhausted. Doing, what, 95? I don't know how many driver swings that I had, but body's definitely feeling it. But the good thing is you're here. You want some data. And before I get into the data, kind of want to give you the heads up. I have a few videos coming up. It is my birthday weekend as well. So happy birthday to me. The next few videos, I have the Pro V1. I also have the Pro V1X, and it just came out with a Dash Pro V1X. I'm going to be testing those all out, and someone put in my last video, they wanted to see different results, Pro V1 versus Kirkland. You're going to see the Kirkland in here, the signature, but I'm going to do a specific video to that as an amateur, because maybe some of the results were due to maybe I was a little tired, but I definitely want to make sure that, it does match up to the Pro V1, and, for 20 bucks, if that's going to be a good value, I want to tell you that. But from what I saw last time, it wasn't, and for me, what other people are saying, you can manipulate numbers as well as you want, but, I literally do everything I can to get everything within a specified standard deviation. So, we do that, and then another video, my buddy actually was ripping the Taylormade Tour response. I played around with him not too long ago, and he said test it out against the TP5. He said he was getting better results, so I'm going to do that as well. So that is it. Oh, actually one more. JPX Hot Metal versus the Taylormade MBs. I've narrowed it down to 2 over the winter of what I'm going to be changing over to. I was originally going to go to JPX Hot Metal, but I hit the MBs, and it felt so good. So you're gonna have to watch me basically test them in the bay and go against each other, and then I walk out or start making order. So besides that, we go to my channel. I'm almost at 3K subscribers. I am at 100 videos now, which is freaking awesome. I didn't think I would get here so fast. For me, I make a lot of shorts here. I get a lot of views here. If you have any advice on any type of long, what you want to see from long content, let me know, because that's where I feel like I need to work on and I want to get better with. But other than that, I thank you for all the, the people that are following, the people that are giving me the views. I do it for you people, and I do it for, to make sure that you are getting the best stuff in your bag. But we are now going to go to the data. So, just like we've done with every other video when we're doing a baseline measurement, we are going to start with the Pro V1 as well as the TP5. So, going off for standard deviation, kept it at, this is actually as close as you're going to get. Club speed 0, basically identical on these swings. I could have manipulated all I wanted. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to give you something very close. 280, basically 281 on drive, on carry. Total was about 304, 305 rollout, which is pretty damn good. My launch angles are always a little low. For me, I hit pretty low shots. But the good thing is smash factor was there. Spin rate, this is almost like a perfect shot for me. And a perfect shot in general. Having around the 2360 spin rate. 2090 spin rate altogether. Height, these are pretty good. And also, I tested out against the TP5s. TP5s were right there, about 2 or 3 yards further. But then again, I could have struck this a little better. I had a little more club speed on these swings. So I want to say if we take this down a mile per hour, you're probably going to have these level out. That's how I look at that. I take everything into consideration. But yeah, I saw the 1088 and it puts the 282. And I saw it down here, 182, and I got 282. So very similar once I get the miles per hour. And this makes sense. Another mile per hour, you get about another 2.4 yards on the carry. So we bring it down. So these, to me, are identical again. Total 305 basically. I had better launch angles on this. I don't know if it was just I was hitting them a little more aggressively on these swings, but again, 2300 perfect swing for me. 2130 on the spin rate, And these are perfect numbers. I was actually really impressed with this one, getting it up to 138 on the Apex. That must have hit that thing lights out, because for me to get it that high, that is really good. But we're going to use, again, the Pro V1 versus all of the other, balls as a baseline. So here we go. We're going to go right to Bridgestone. Bridgestone. This is the ball I used to play, or I still play these some rounds. Now, I had certain swings that were just awful, but I would say if we're playing long ball, if I have two, I look at this, the 180.5 and 280, it looks very similar to 180, 282. So how I look at this ball, I don't really take this into consideration, but just because they have 2 shots on the number, we can keep this at 271, but I'm going to change this and manipulate this a little bit because it's not going to give the overall factor of a good hit. This will. This is literally matches up to exactly where I should be. Carry was 280.6. Total was 303. Not too much of a distance change over here. Launch angle 15, good apex. Spin rate is perfect. So does the Bridgestone compete with the Pro V1 and the TP5? Absolutely it does. I knew it would. For me, I hit this thing. I was wrecking this ball on a few courses. I knew it was going to test well, so if you're looking for a ball for distance, an overall good ball, Bridgestone, it gets a thumbs up from it. There's no question, no doubts. I knew this was going to test well for me hitting good shots. Again, when I was hitting these, remember 80 or 90 drives, and I'll let you know what balls that I was hitting when I started getting a little tired. But I took the big ball from each one and made sure it aligned, and it does. So Bridgestone absolutely it's a purchase from me. We go to Callaway. Same exact thing. If we really wanted to, we can take the big ball here. But, I always take this at the club speed. It's pretty damn good at 106.9. But the one thing I did notice on this one, 109.1, I was high on this. And I had a good smash factor. 307 total, meaning I was probably hitting it slightly high on this for looking at the spin axis. So I caught it probably pretty low in the club. But spin rate, 1600. Ball speed 159. It was a little lower off of the face, off the club, but I mean, does it compete? Yeah. I mean, I always take the mile per hour here, and I would bring it down to a 108.1, probably getting around like a 278, 277.5, 278 carry. So I would still say, from a aspect of Pro V1 versus big ball of Callaway. About 2 or 3 yards difference. If you're really splitting molecules here, the Pro V has the Callaway by, I would say, about 2-3 yards easily. I'm not going to sit here and be like, wow, Callaway is not crappy ball. It's not. I can put that out 308. With the Pro V1s I was putting out, but the carry distance is important just in case you have to get over something. Always going to be the biggest benefactor here. So Callaway, that's a good purchase. And also, I always go back to from an aesthetic standpoint. The ball is so nice to look at, especially on the green and putting. Callaway's Chrome Soft is really good. Now we go to the Kirkland. Kirkland, I'm going to take this one out because this is my big ball. This didn't. I kind of want to, and the reason why I'm going to test this again, because I was getting about halfway through my swings. I was getting a little tired. But I still look at the club speed, 107.6, 108.1, 278.2. So you're about a half a mile per hour. That's going to make up the distance. So I'm going to actually equate the Kirkland from an actual distance standpoint to match the Pro V1. So yes, in this case, I'm going to take that into heavily consideration that the Kirkland does match up to the Pro V1 from a distance standpoint, from a carry standpoint. For me, I'm going to do another video because if you can get these for $20 and everybody's posting them around the YouTube channel, but everybody can play them as a professional. You have a lot of guys that are professionals. I'm going to hit it more as an amateur player like I did here, and you're going to get a lot of different, but I want to test it against the Pro V1 or even the TP5, either or. They're both premier balls. But the cool thing about this one is that, spin rate matched up, 2090, 2160. Ball speed came off. Smash factor on this matches up perfect to the Pro V1. So Kirkland, from a distance standpoint, I played the Kirkland before in a few courses. Already knew it was going to match up.
the Snell, this actually caught my attention. So if we're playing big ball here, I hit this at a 108.8, and it carried 282.4, which is a little slightly over, it almost matches up to, 108.8, 282.5. So it definitely, like, I forgot if it was Let's Play Through that said the Snell ball was top premier, but I got very good, even on a bad hit, I got a great rollout. These were flying. They did pretty well in the spin rate test too with the pitching wedge. So I'm going to be honest, I also got this up really fast. This is one of the balls that really surprised me in the end, where I would definitely, not definitely, I need to actually put this and try this on the course. I have yet to do that, but, for me, I saw the, even on the bad hits down here, 126 apex, 135 apex, that height comes into play. For me, I need to be able to get some height on my drives, where, the Snell was doing that was pretty impactful for me. So the Snell, definitely getting a thumbs up. So all the balls so far in a distance, definitely thumbs up so far from all of them. Then we get to Top Flite. This is where I knew this ball was going to just... So I kind of look at it and, it's just like, well, what about my club speed? Even at one of my 108.2s and I was hitting them pretty well. I was only getting a 272 carry. That's literally, you go down, that's almost 7 to 8 yards difference. I mean, the apex was a little low regardless. Maybe I could have got a little higher. Launch angle was slightly, it was even higher than some of the Pro V1. Actually, all of them. This ball just did not fly. It did not go distance-wise. So, I know it did. Here's the thing, though, and this goes back to my other video, which you definitely should go check out. If you are hitting this ball was getting very spinny, really spinny. Like, it was one of the most spinny balls I hit out of all of them. If you're having a hard time holding the greens, this is the ball you play. But from a distance standpoint, absolutely not. Distance gets a thumbs down. Comparative to everything we just saw, not even remotely close. Not going to waste my time. We're going directly to Srixon. Srixon actually, I want to, again, I've been, pretty nice with the big ball, but I look at this. And, I go through everything here, and I'm looking at my club speed. So this is where I know for a fact I was getting tired. And I was playing, I think, the ZV, if I'm not mistaken. And 107.7, 276. Now, if we're actually doing the math here, 107.7, 276, 108.1, another half a mile per hour. I'm probably around 277 or 278. So for me, I think this ball will match... I won't say it will match up to the Pro V1, but it's definitely, I think this ball is actually cheaper in value. So for me, if it's around 30, and this goes back to the value of the ball. Can you hit this ball a mile? Yeah. Is it something you're going to play against a Pro V1 if you're in a tournament or a league or something like that? No. Can it fly? Absolutely it can. I think it's on the lower tier of the distance between all the balls we just saw. But does it compete? Yes, absolutely it does. So Srixon, you're going to get kind of like a diagonal up. But yeah, I tested. We go to the European ball, the seed. And even with my big ball here, I was getting and I knew for this I was actually getting tired because I started hitting this towards the end. But this is where I actually had my eyes open. Now I hit this at 107 and I got a 277.5 carry. 107. Just remember, that's a full mile per hour lower than this. If I'm hitting that at 108.5, that's around a 280. So I'm not going to even go through these numbers. And I've also tested this on the course. This ball flies. Spinning, it was difficult getting a good spin rate from it, but from a distance standpoint, this ball flies. Absolutely, it does. I played Rio Pinar one of the country clubs over here. And I, with anything with a par 5, I was annihilating this ball. So, yes, I would definitely play this. Distance-wise, it does compete. Competes with the Pro V1, competes with the TP5. I think where it loses is going back to my other video, where you'll see that the spin rate was getting a little iffy. So that's my if and but for seed, I think they have a great ball. I think it's like $29 too. So the value is 100% in there. I think I put it. It said that's 49 last video. I was completely wrong. It was 29. And for $29.99 for something that can compete with the Pro V1 or TP, 100% value buy right here. Big advocate of this ball now. You go to the Vice, another ball that I'm a huge advocate of. So 106, take this off. We'll play big ball. 1081, 278, 307. So what do we look at? Okay, 108, 279, 108, 278. Okay, so a yard off. So does the Vice compete? Absolutely. And not only did this ball blow it out of the water on a spin rate, the spin rates are fantastic off the pitching wedge. These things are like $29. They're very cheap. Vice may be a ball that I may be playing, not the black one. I don't know why Vice made a black golf ball. You're going to lose that thing every damn time. But from the test results from Vice, very impressed. I don't know what they're doing over there, but they're starting to make very good golf balls. This definitely gets a thumbs up, easily. Then we go to the Wilson. The Wilson, we'll take out the small ball here. Even though I caught this at 106, this is why I'm giving Wilson was consistent. I wouldn't say it was fantastic, but it was consistent, and it definitely rolled out because I had my biggest ball with this. I hit this a low laser at 279. I'm gonna keep this here because at 106.6 I still carried it 278, launch angle 15.8, and then you look at this launch angle. For me, that's impressive that I was able to literally match the carry, and I hit a laser on this. So, and this also held up in the spin rate too. Spin rate, yeah, I already knew this was going to be low, but from the pitching wedge video, oh man, like this ball was, if this is going to be slightly cheaper than the Pro V1, like if this is like around $34.99 or like a $39.99 ball, yes, it's a value. It also has a very soft feeling. If you actually held the Wilson staff ball before, very soft feeling, very good on the greens. Yes, 100%. This ball, I was actually very impressed because I saw these two numbers. I'm like, holy crap. I cannot believe that thing, I hit a laser. I probably like, yay, this high, and it carried 279. So I was very impressed because a smash factor 151, probably a high miss hit, or I'm not mistaken, a lower on the face miss hit, but it took off. I was very impressed. So Wilson, 100, well done. Pinnacle, I was getting tired. 277 on 108.3. I mean, does it play? It's actually a little higher, 2/10. I would take off about to a 277. Yes, it does, but I would say it's like right here, comparatively to a Premier ball. Is it there? Does it compete? It does compete. Is it a value? Definitely, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, they're like $19 or $24.99. Now, if you're a normal high handicapper looking for a good ball, get a Pinnacle. No joke on this one. For me, I was able to hit this pretty well. The other ones, I was just tired. I already know. That's why I was playing big ball on this one. But do I foresee myself playing this? No. Do I see a high handicapper or mid handicapper? Yep. Because you're going to lose a lot of golf balls, and these are cheaper value, and they can do not exactly what the Pro V1 or the TP5 can do, but they can compete. This ball, the Maxfli straight fly. Now, this is low 106.9. I probably could have carried this 280, 281. This ball impressed the hell out of me. Now, I'm going to be very honest, and I'm going to just say this. I've played this. I've tested this. It's one of my first videos. I can probably annihilate this ball. I hate the feeling of this ball. It is so hard because the ball is trying to take away your manipulation of your draw and your fade, and the dimple pattern is so different, even on the putting green. It just feels so weird, but I'm not gonna lie, like, you can hit the living daylights out of this ball, it goes. And the only problem that I was having an issue is, like, I tried playing my draw out, and it would just go out and just stop. Even on my drives, just draws out and just stop. So I got myself into trouble a bit, but distance-wise, it actually keeps up. This ball, perfect beginner ball. 100% perfect beginner ball. I have course tested this. It's not going to be the greatest feeling ball. I can just throw this out there right now, but you can rip the living daylights out of this. I have a 106 9107. You put it up a little bit, probably around 278, 279. You can probably put this out there with your hit, whatever your swing is. You're going to get a lot of help on keeping the ball in play. That's why it's a great beginner ball. For a player like me, I absolutely hate this ball in the field. I'm sorry. It checks up really well on the greens too. The spin rate's actually really good. But my God, it feels just like hard plastic, and I still can't get it out. But I tested it because if I didn't see value in it, I think it's like $19.99 or $24.99 for these balls. They're perfect for beginners. If you are a beginner or you're getting your kid into golf or you're teaching them how, draws and stuff like that, use this ball so you can actually show them the difference between using a premier ball against a beginner ball, because that's what this is. But it's definitely going to get a thumbs up. For me, best beginner ball out there. And the Noodle. I think it speaks for itself. So, did fantastic in the spin rate test with the pitching wedge, but I did everything I could to hit this damn thing. I even took shots outside of the bay and hit this thing. This thing just did not go anywhere. There's a reason why this ball is $19.99 for like $24 or whatever the price is. And, we're going to put this on a kind of a funny note, but it's definitely not, it does not compete with any of the balls that you just saw. Not even remotely close on a distance standpoint. Even if I bring this up to 109, it still wouldn't be 275, 276 probably. It would still probably be like 273. It just didn't go anywhere. It was very weird. So, in conclusion, is the Pro V1 the best? I'm going to leave that up to you. Put it in the comments below. These Pro Vs that I have in my hand, I'm going to be testing these out with 3 all the new Pro Vs. But for me, the TP5 tested well against it. The Bridgestone tested well against it. The Callaway was maybe about a yard off, tested well. Kirkland tested well, and it's a good value. I mean, Kirkland, we all know, Costco's brand. I think it's like what, $1.25 per ball. I mean, I'm doing a video, Kirkland against the Pro V1, the original Pro V1, not the new one. And I'm going to go in, not completely exhausted like I did with all these balls, but for me, and this is going to be the final analysis. So I did this because everybody, always does 1 or 2 balls or they test them out against each other. And I wanted to put every ball on the market for everybody to see and what makes sense to you. Every ball has its purpose. I make fun of Top Flite, but yet, it doesn't go that far. But I already know for a fact in the last test, the spin rate was fantastic. It holds greens. So does the, what's it called? So does the Noodle. The Noodle was very high. It is very spinny ball. So, like I said, play a ball that makes your game personally better. Distance-wise, for me, I also feel very comfortable with the Bridgestone standing over it. The Pro V1, I'm starting to. I wasn't playing the Pro V1 for a little bit, and I just played my last round. I played a TP5, and starting to get used to these other Premier balls too. But for me, it's really it goes back. Put it in the comments. What do you think the best ball for you is? And I want to know the reasons why. Because do you play a fade? Do you play a draw? Do you play a high spin rate? with these balls? Do you play one of the other balls? Do you have a reason for it? I want to know, because for me, this is the reason why I want to know is I do these videos for you. I want to know if this makes sense to you guys. Because for me, if I'm looking at advice, I'm buying. These things are $29 and they did everything the Pro V1 did. Same exact thing. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. And then so did the Kirkland. Spin rates, I'm going to check that out one more time, but that's about it. Other than that, if you haven't yet, subscribe. I'm about to hit 3,000 subscribers. I'm as shocked as everybody else is, but I'm very happy to make these videos for everybody. For me, I enjoy it. I love doing this for the community. For me, I go into, and you'll notice I put comments in a lot of YouTube golfers' channels. For me, I like watching growing channels too. For me, I'll watch Rick Shields. I'll watch the Good Goods, entertaining as hell. But let's play through. He's an older gentleman, pretty close to where I'm at or where I live, and he has really good view analysis on a lot of the things that I look into as well. I look at St. Andre, a few other channels that are growing. So help out YouTubers, not just myself. Subscribe to me. Of course, hit that button below, hit that like, but check out and help out all the other YouTubers, everybody that's trying to help the golf community. Because at the end of the day, we all love golf. We all love the game, and we all want to get better at it. And of course, we all want to throw our putters into the river. That's not a joke. I hit my putter. But that's about it. Other than that, thank you for watching another video. This is Amateur Hour Golf Out. Mikey T saying, pick the ball that's right for you, not what somebody else tells you. Always test what you're using, from clubs to balls, and making sure everything matches up to play your best golf. Other than that, talk to you later.